Namaste everyone, my name is Marina. Today's practice is a fusion between Hatha Yoga and Yin Yoga. It's an all-level class so everybody can do and can get the benefit out of it. We're going to particularly work on lengthening and loosening up the hamstrings, the muscles on the back of the legs. And now we're going to add a little bit of work on the hips and the glutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and start into a wide leg child's pose. So bring the knees as wide as the mat and start to fold forward, extending the arms on the floor and resting the forehead down on the mat. Get centered and grounded. Taking a few moments here to really stay still, softening through the body, through the breath, closing off the eyes, and inhaling and exhaling the same length, in and out through the nose. Planting the sit bones down into the heels, down into the earth. And really relax the body, let it melt it down with the mat, with the ground. Let's take another couple of breaths here before we start moving. Good. And then inhale, lift the head up, come up into an all-four position without moving the legs. Start to walk the hands forward, melting down, dropping the chest down towards the earth, and then resting your forehead down. Allowing the side of the body to lengthen. Deeply breathe in here. 2 more breaths. If you want, you're looking for a deeper stretch, you can stretch the chin forward. Let's take another breath here. And slowly pressing on the hands, walk the hands back behind. Tuck the toes under, inhale, stretch the chest forward. And as you exhale, float the hips back and up, coming into a downward facing dog. Stay here. Readjust if you want the feet, bring them hip width apart. Slightly microbend the knees, inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, drop the knees down, come back into a tabletop position. And then stretch the heart forward and exhale again. We keep this as a flow, floating the hips up and high. Keep the head in between the upper arms. 4 more times. Inhale, dropping the heels down, dropping the belly down. Look up and exhale, float the hips back and up. Inhale, knees down, open the chest, lift the eyes. Exhale, back. Inhale, drop the knees down. Exhale, hips high. Good, stay here, take another breath, inhale. And as you exhale, move the hands towards the feet. Let the head drop, fall down. And then inhale, come out for a lift, look forward. And as you exhale, start to walk the hands towards your right side, finding a twist here, gentle twist, and then bending your left knee. Let the head hang heavy down. Inhale, come back to the center. And then on the exhale, moving to the left side, bending the right knee, dropping the head down. On the next inhale, come back to center, and then walk the hands back into your downward facing dog. Now here, deeply bending the knees, take a deep stretch, pressing
from the chest into the thighs. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, and then step the left foot to the front, look forward. Exhale, step the other foot to the front to meet the left. Let the head hang heavy down. And then slightly shift your body weight to the toes. And if you want, you may grab your opposite elbows and take in a few sways side to side. Then release. Plant the hands on the floor. If you can't, just bend the knees. And then inhale, slowly, breath by breath, rolling all the way up to stand. Roll the shoulders back and forward. Sweeping the arms up, inhaling. Side of the body nice and long. And exhale, bring the thumbs to the third eye, bend the knees, and then hinging from the hips, bowing down towards the earth. Forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Sweep the arms up, press on the feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, again, all the way down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Press on the feet, sweep both arms up overhead, palms touch. And exhale one more time, hinging from the hips, bowing to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale, stretching the crown of the head towards the front of the room. And exhale, forward fold. Now keep the hands planted on the floor. Bend the knees more. Inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, step the left foot back as far as you possibly can. We're going to stay here. So if you have blocks, you may want to pick up your blocks and just place them under your hands. If you don't have blocks at home, you can use a book or like a stack of books or just a thick book underneath. Right, and just let's take a couple of motion forward and back. Finding the groin of the left side and the hip flexor of the left leg. Good. And then come back into a neutral position. Now we're going to do an exercise to awaken the psoas, iliopsoas muscle. All right, on the inhale, we'll slightly bend the left knee without touching the floor. And on the exhale, pressing all the way through the heel, extending the leg back. So it's a very subtle movement, but it's doing a lot into this big connected tissue that is connecting the lower back with the torso iliopsoas muscle. And then inhale again, 2 more times, bend the knee, and exhale, press back. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, press through the heel, extend and straighten that leg. Good. Now from here, inhale, open the chest, looking forward. And as you exhale, start to lift the hips up high, extending through the right leg, and then forward fold. Come up on the toes of the left foot, bend the elbows, pointing back. 2 more times. Inhale, lunge forward, open the chest. Exhale, hips back and up, straighten up through the right leg. Inhale, bending. Exhale, press back. Lunge forward, inhale. Now get rid of your blocks. Place them outside your mat. Hands on the floor, framing the right foot. And then step this right foot back to meet the left, coming into a high plank. So in your high plank, make sure you're not sagging the hips down, but really Squeeze the belly button in towards the spine, broad through the shoulder blades, the upper back, middle back. Really press the hands away from the floor. And then hug the thighs in together. Good, and then drop the hips, the knees down. Look forward, resting the eyes to the front edge of the mat. Take one breath here. And then on the next inhale, send the hips slightly back and then dive your chest forward in between the hands. Release the feet, pointing the toes back. Inhale, come up into cobra. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then roll them back behind, really creating space. Hug the elbows to the side of the body, towards the ribs, and then stay here. Maybe the gaze is down to keep the neck relaxed. Relax the glutes, sending the seat bones down towards the heels. And then very slowly lower it down. Now, we're going to do this again, but with a variation. So resting the forehead down on the floor. Interlace the fingers behind. Inhale, peel the head up, chest up, lifting up, pressing through the feet down into the earth. And then lift the hands up and away from the sacrum. Rolling the shoulders back. Really try to lift up. Making your body stronger, your shoulders, the upper body. And then slowly release. Bring the hands under your shoulders, stack the toes under. Inhale, come back into your tabletop position. And exhale, stretch back into Balasana, child's pose, just for one breath. Good. Inhale, looking forward, and then float the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Take one breath here in downward facing dog. Micro bending the knees, keeping the head in line with the upper arms, spreading through the fingers. And then bringing the feet together. On the next inhale, lift the right leg high. And exhale, bend the knee, rotate, open the hip. Equally pushing the hands on the floor, the shoulders are facing forward. So we're just opening the hips here, stacking the right hip on top of the left hip. If you want, you can gaze up to the ceilings, but keep gazing back. Let's take another breath here. And as you exhale, spur off the hips, three-legged dog, extend this right leg back. You can keep the right foot flexed or pointing back behind. Inhale. And exhale, hug the knee into the chest, move the body forward, lift the hips up high, and then plant this right foot to the front. Come up on your fingertips, and then bring the hands onto the waist. Inhale, come up, lifting the back heel right on top of the toes, coming into your high crescent lunge. I want you here to bring the focus on this left hip. So you can bring both hands for the time being and give a little push directing the hips, the left hip forward, pressing the right hip back a little. You can bend the back knee a little again, and then lifting and tilting the pelvis forward, lifting the pubic bone up, lower ribs draws in. And then at this point you can add your arms wide through the hands, and if you want you can straighten up the back leg for the full position. Inhale, exhale. Good, now option here, you can come up on the toes of your front foot just for one breath, making it more like a stronger posture here. And then lower down. drop the hands down. Now look forward, inhale. As you exhale, half step forward with your back foot, straightening both legs. Again, pick up the blocks here to make longer arms. Inhaling, looking forward, and exhale, forward fold. Coming into Purvattanasana, pyramid pose, and then counting 10 breaths. Just being with the breath, pressing through the feet, pressing through the heels, and still leading the chest towards the foot. So thinking more about bringing the belly towards the thigh rather than the forehead towards the knee. You're doing, I'm sure, amazingly. So stay there, stay with me. Let's take another couple of breaths here. Good, and then inhale, look forward. And on the exhale, walk the hands towards your right side. Keep the legs straight if you can. And then forward fold. So switching the stretch here into the outer hip. And into a different place of your hamstrings. Just notice. And we're going to hold for another couple of breaths. So 3 breaths in total here. One more breath. And then come back to the center, look forward. So I'm going to remove the blocks here because I'm happy like this today. And then walk the hands forward towards the edge of the mat. Inhaling and exhale. Another 3 breaths here. Engage through the legs. Be with your breath. Keep the breath going. In and out through the nose. So the yoga practice is happening mainly with the breath. Good, and then from here start to micro bend your right knee. And here I'm going to take again my blocks. So we're going to come into a sort of a modified warrior 3 pose. Floating the back leg up. You may just place your blocks underneath your shoulders. And then inhaling, looking forward. On the exhale, we're gathering the knee in. And then we're bringing the forehead down to the knee. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, gathering in. Inhale, kicking the foot back and up. Exhale, gathering in. Strong work on your right glute. Inhale, last one. Exhale, gathering in. And then step the left foot to meet the right to the front. Place the blocks outside and just rest here. You can micro bend the knees and just lean forward a little. Good. Now feet are going to stop in, bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart. On the inhale, we're coming up into Utkatasana. So reach the arms up high, widen through the hands, and then bending the knees, squeezing the knees together. See if you can drop the sit bones a little bit more down. Good. Now we continue into a twist, so bringing the hands to the heart center, rolling their shoulders back, inhale, and exhale, twisting to the right, hooking the left elbow outside the right knee. Inhaling to lengthen through the spine, crown of the head, and exhale as you twist. So if this is too deep for you, always welcome to just come out of the hooking with the hands, and then just placing the hands on the outside of your right thigh and come more into a more gentle twist here. Otherwise, just go for this version. Inhale, come back into a chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Extend both legs, straighten them up. Inhale, come halfway lift. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. And this time, step the right foot back as far as you possibly can. Good. We're gonna do the same thing, left side. So again, we're gonna pick up our blocks. We're gonna stay here for a moment. Maybe finding a rocking motion forward and back to say hi to our right side, right groin, right psoas. And then come back into a neutral position. Good. On the inhale, bending through the right knee without touching the floor. And exhale, press the heel back behind. Good. 2 more times. Inhale, slightly bend. Exhale, press the heel back. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press back. Good. Inhale, open the chest. And as you exhale, float the hips back and up, straightening through the left leg, folding over. Come up on your toes. Heel, right heel lifted. Inhale, lunging forward 2 more times. Open the chest. Exhale, lift. And fold in. Inhale, lunge forward. And exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, lunging forward. Now blocks outside. Hands on the mat, framing the foot. And then step the foot back. Coming again into our beloved high plank. Stay here for another breath. And then drop the knees down. Bring the hips back a little. And again, dive forward so that the chest comes right in between the hands. And then come down on your belly. Sphinx pose. So extend the forearms to the front. Elbows below the shoulders. Relax through the glutes. Relax the feet behind. You can slightly separate the feet. That feels more comfortable with your lower back. Continue to squeeze your belly in towards the spine, so make sure you're not completely plopping the belly out here to avoid too much of a compression on the lower back. So you will find more of a comfort on the lower back if you have the navel in. Good. Now pressing on the hands, extend through the arms, and then start to walk the hands back behind for a seal. So you actually decide the intensity of that. You can slightly always micro bend the elbow joints just to let the energy flow and without overlocking too much. Or if you feel like stretching, you can do this. We're not going to hold that for a long time. Good. So if that is too much on your lower back, always welcome to slide the hands slightly forward. So adjust and modify. Take another couple of breaths. And then slowly release down. Slide the hands below the shoulders, tuck the toes under. Come back into your tabletop position and then exhale, downward child's pose. Resting the forehead down. From here, inhale. Looking forward and exhale, press back, float the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath here. Inhale, exhale. Bring the feet together. On the next inhale, lift the left foot up and high. And exhale, bend the knee, rotate, open the hip. So equally push both hands on the floor, keeping the shoulders facing down. You can gently look up towards the ceiling through your left armpit, or you can just keep the gaze towards the back of your mat. Good, inhale. And on the exhale, square off the hips. You can flex the foot or point the toes back. Exhale, hug the knee to the chest, move the body forward, shoulders over the wrists, and then step the left foot to the front. Good. From here, hands on your waist, slowly on the inhale, coming up into your high crescent lunge. Slightly micro bend this back knee, and then bring the attention this time to the right hip, pressing the right hip forward, pushing the left hip back. So really make sure the hips are parallel to the front of the room. And then tilting your tailbone in, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the belly in, adding the arms, and then extending through the back leg. Rotating the hands, so the thumbs are externally rotating, so that the middle finger, the little finger are facing one another. So this will activate your muscles of the upper arms, triceps, and the biceps. Good. Take another breath here. Maybe sink a little bit more down onto your front leg. And then drop the hands down, hands framing the foot. From here, look forward. Take a half step forward with your back foot. Extend through both legs. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, forward fold. More than welcome to grab your blocks and place the blocks underneath the hands. Otherwise, stay here. Relax the head down, crown of the head pointing towards your big toe of the left foot. 10 breaths. Lift both the kneecaps here. Engage through the legs and press both heels firmly down onto the mat. If that is too much, you can slightly micro bend this front knee. But if you can hold it, just try to challenge yourself a little if you can. Loosening up the hamstrings. For longer legs. Good. And then inhale, coming up. And exhale, walk the hands towards your left side. And then forward fold. 3 breaths here. Switching the stretch into the T-band and feeling it more on the outer hip. Another breath. Come back to center. And then walk the hands away from the foot. Inhale. Exhale. Take another 3 breaths here. We're almost done. Good, and then inhale. Looking forward. Slowly micro bending this left knee. Again, maybe taking your blocks in front of you. On the inhale, we're gonna float the back leg up. Looking forward. Inhale. And exhale, gathering the knee in, bringing the forehead to the knee. Inhale, kick this right foot back and up. Open the chest, look forward. Exhale, gathering in. Inhale, 2 more, back and up. Stay with me. Exhale, gather in. Last one, inhale, kick this foot back and up. Exhale, gathering in. And then step the foot to meet the left. Good. Then drop the head down. Slightly lean forward, bringing the body weight towards the front of the feet. And then the feet are going to stock in, heels slightly apart, the big toes touching. Chair pose, inhale, bend the knees, reach both arms up.
And then start to sit into your imaginary chair, widening through the hands, looking in between the hands, or looking forward if that is uncomfortable with the neck. Maybe try to sink a little bit more down here. Good, and then bringing the hands into a prayer. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, and exhale, hooking the right elbow outside the left knee. Lengthening, inhale, twist and exhale. So here the tendency of the knees is that one knee wants to like push forward. So really try to keep squeezing the knees together and keep them in the same line. This will help to neutralize the hip and help them to stay even in the same line. Good, so we're twisting from the lower back and above. Good, inhale, come back into your chair pose, and exhale, forward fold. Interlace the fingers behind, bend the knees, and then drop the chest down onto the thighs. Give a nice stretch to the shoulders. Again, slightly lean forward. And then release. Dropping the hands on the mat. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step the left foot back with the left knee down. All right, so we're coming into the second part of our practice, yin practice. So from now on, we're going to hold the posture a little longer, about 3 minutes per pose. Okay, we'll start with Pigeon Pose, or the swan. So we'll start to slide that right foot towards the left edge of the mat. And then very slowly, taking your Pigeon Pose, your way, find your way to do it. And then if you feel like the gap under the right glute is too high from the mat, more than welcome to take your magic block and just place it right underneath. If the gap is just little, I'd recommend to put like a flat cushion, because the body feels safer and more at ease. So then when the body feels safe, it's easier for the body to relax. And then very slowly walk the hands forward, lying on your forearms, bring the hands together into a prayer. And then you can stay here for the 3 minutes, or you can continue to travel all the way down, dropping the forehead on the floor. Just take time to allow the body to soften with the breath. So do not immediately jump onto your edge, into your limit, particularly if you're holding the posture a little longer. Just take the time to slowly deepen your posture. And then if you're down, and if you want to add a stretch, you can slide this left arm underneath the right, turning the head to face the right side, dropping the left ear down on the floor, and just pausing here. So we still have, I think, like about 2 minutes left. So stay with the breath and slow down your breath, maybe counting mentally as you inhale up to 3 or 5. And on the exhale, again, same length. And the discomfort, be healed by your own breath. Of course, if you have very strong pain, come out of the posture at any time. Never overdo.
Checking the time. Good, now very slowly, reverse your motion. So first come onto your forearms. Pause here a moment, take a breath. And then come all the way up, walking the hands towards the body. That was quite juicy. And then shift your body onto the right hip and spin the left leg all the way to the front and across this right knee. For Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. So the right hand is holding the left knee. The left hand come up and then all the way back like a second spine, very close to your back. Make sure you're opening the fingers out to allow this left shoulder to open. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, looking back. So here you can hug the knee with your right arm, or you can bring the elbow outside. And close the eyes. Find your inner gaze. And you're familiar, if you're familiar with the bind, you can always find a bind here. So grabbing your left wrist with your right hand to allow the left shoulder to open a little more. Make sure both seat bones are down on the mat. Take another breath. And then slowly turn the face to look forward and start to unwind here. Good. Okay, now open this left leg all the way. And then you should find yourself with right leg bent, right foot facing forward. So you can stay here, or you can bring this right foot back, pointing the right knee forward. And then find it like a V shape with the legs. Inhale. And exhale, start to walk the hands to the front. And then finding our next yin posture. So you can hang out here and pause in here for the next 3 minutes or so. Or you can pick up a block and decide to maybe rest the forehead onto your vertical block. And then slowly, slowly, you can start to deepen a little bit more. Just take time. Good things take time, they say. So really be with the breath. We have 3 juicy minutes to stay here together with our breath in our present moment. We have time to observe what happens, how the body transforms when these 2 energies, the yang and the yin, combine. So when we're combining these 2 practices, the hatha and the yin, let's just observe the body. If you feel like you have a lot of pressure on the right knee, you're more than welcome to move the body towards your left leg. So avoiding to compress too much the knee joint. So remember, we only have 2 knees, so be gentle. Keep the breath going in and out through the nose. Plenty seats into the deepest tissue layers as you hold in the posture longer, planting your vital force, your vital energy you've been cultivating through the practice into all the deepest tissues of the body. We do this by holding new space and by staying still. Physically, emotionally, and mentally. Good. Now very slowly, reverse. Coming back, and then start to walk the hands back towards the body. Nice. Slowly, slowly, extend both legs to the front. So bring this right foot to the front and just shakes the legs a little. You can make fists without squeezing the fingers too much. With this loose fist, you can just give a massage to the outer thighs, the hips. Should actually feel really good. Good. And then hug both the knees to the chest, cross the feet at the ankles, and see if you can rock forward here, bringing the hands into the front. It's just a transition here to come back into your tabletop position. And let's take another time downward facing dog. Just give a stretch to the spine and the back of the legs. Again, should feel good. Inhale. And exhale, drop the knees down. And step the left foot forward in between the hands. So we're doing the same thing, left leg. So start to slide your left foot towards your right side, finding your expression of the pigeon prep or the swan. And then again, use your props underneath your left glute. If you feel like you need to feel the gap and feel more stable into the posture, or use blankets, like something softer underneath, which may feel even more comfortable, let's say. Good. So for me, this posture is comfortable. I really like it, but after sometimes you do. So then walk the hands forward. And then come first down to the forearms. Bring the hands together. Keep the eyes closed. And again, like suggesting, you can just drop the forehead down, completely resting and surrendering to this posture. Or instead, you may decide to travel all the way down, finding the floor, carrying you safely. And you can stay here. Or another option, so many options, you can just slide the right arm underneath the left, turning the face to the left side and just dropping the head down. Pausing here for another, let's say, 2 minutes and something. Just stay with the breath, in and out through the nose. Just observing the differences between the right side and the left side. We always have one side that is easier and more open than the other. So just notice, acknowledge the difference, and get to know your body a little bit more today. Moving very slowly. Reverse your motions. Come first in your forearms, and then start to walk the hands back behind. Good. Now shift the body weight onto the left hip. And just spin this right leg to the front, bringing the right foot across the left leg. For Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. Inhaling, reaching the right arm up, bringing back behind, close to the spine like a second spine. And then you can hug the left arm around the knee. Or you can lift the arm up and just bring the elbow outside. So take time to adjust. As you inhale, you lengthen, finding space, widening through the collarbones. And as you exhale, you twist. Make sure that the right sit bone is down on the floor. So the tendency sometimes is that we'll lift in this. So we're completely putting our body weight onto the left hips, left sit bones. So really ground through both sit bones. And then look back. Find a bind, grabbing this time your right wrist with your left hand. If that is in your practice, otherwise just stay. Close the eyes, find your inner gaze. Good. And then on the next inhale, turn first the face to look forward and then start to unwind. Bring this left leg opening out to the side. So I'm going to turn, so that you see what I'm doing. And then we're going to bring again, this time, the left foot back. So finding a V shape in between the legs, and again, moving forward. And see what happens this side. Just turn a little bit more. This perspective I prefer. And again, use a block. Or just completely fold forward. If you're particularly open on your hips, and be with the breath. In and out through the nose. And keep the rhythm. Same length. Inhale, exhale. Moving very slowly.
Coming out to the posture. Extend both legs to the front. Shake out the legs. And again, make your loose fist and start to massage the outer hip, outer thigh. And then bring the feet down on the mat. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Arms inside and passively forward fold. Relax the head down. It's a nice counter pose here. Staying here for another 3 breaths. You can slightly lock the chin into the throat to give a nice stretch to the back of your neck. Jalandhara Bandha. Good. And then very slowly. Coming up. Now, before going into our final relaxation, I want you to bring the shin bones one parallel to the other. And just staying still into your seated posture here. Clasping the hands onto the laps, bringing the left hand on top to invoke your feminine energy. And then bringing the back of the head and neck back a little. Coming a little bit more backwards. Grounding through the seat bones. Closing off the eyes. And then here, I want you to bring your attention and focus onto the very tip of your tailbone. And then imagine a golden beam of light at the very end of the spine. Then inhale and see how this golden beam of light is traveling all the way up through the spine, back of the neck, top of the head, down to the third eye. And then exhale, moving like a waterfall, spreading this light down to the front of the heart. And then again, inhaling, visualize this light traveling all the way through the spine. And then coming down to your third eye, and then spreading as a waterfall down towards the earth. Continue to visualize as you inhale, feeling the energy rising all the way up through the spine with Sushumna Nadi, crown of the head, and then water falling down through the third eye, down to the ground. This light that is running through the spine, and then that is spreading and watering down, nourishing the body. Using this energy that we've been cultivating through the practice to nourish the body, to nourish our energetic body and the emotions. Keep softening your face and release. Opening the eyes. And just make your way back onto the floor. Extend the arms forward very slowly. Make your way onto your back.
And then here, before coming into your Shavasana, hug the knees into the chest. Bring the chin into the throat. Inhale deeply. On the exhale, drop the knees all the way to the right side, opening the left arm to the left side. Looking over to the left. Take a breath or two. And then come back to the center. Inhale. Exhale over to the left. Look over to the right. Opening the right arm to the side in line with the shoulder. Come back to the center, hug the knees in, and then drop the feet down. Now bring the soles of the feet together, widen through the knees, find a Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the left hand onto the heart, the right hand onto the belly button. And just take a moment here to settle down and relax the lower back, keeping the eyes closed. And just think about one thing that you're grateful for today. And then with the help of the hands, close the knees and then extend the legs out. Bring the legs wider than your mat. Bring the arms away from the body. Make sure to leave some space underneath the armpits. Tucking the chin slightly into the throat. Close the eyes. Final resting pose, Shavasana. And just spend time here in your Shavasana to fully process and to fully integrate this true energy of the body. All the work that we've been doing, all the energy that we've been creating, and to fully integrate into your physical body, into your nervous system, and into the emotions and in the mind. We're going to leave you here today in your Shavasana. So again, take time, spend time in your Shavasana. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you like this practice. And you can give a thumb up to this video if you like it, and you can also support by subscribing to this channel.
Have a beautiful day. Namaste.